Guardian down.
Guardian, I've got confirmed intel. The Vex mine maintaining the quarantine has the last strangelet we need to reach 3.
My final tethers to the 9 are snapping. I feel like a live wire fraying. The charge is still there, sparking at the ends.
Heavy Vex presence ahead. They're trading fire with an exile raiding party.
But thankfully, no giant minotaurs this time.
The Archon must be using this as a distraction to breach the Vex quarantine.
Too bad they crossed paths with you, Guardian.
Guardian, destroying that break deactivated a nearby exile signal. I think they have sealed off one of these buildings.
A door in waiting. A bridge across space.
No, there's architecture here. The house must have been right on top of the anomaly before the Vex pushed them out.
The Archon's been trying to get back in ever since. Makes me think they'll make a push once we bring down the dampening field.
We'll need to be ready, but right now, we kill the noise. Kill the noise and hear our answers. I haven't felt this since I was emissary. One of the 9 want to speak.
Quitter. Is that you, Buttercup? Release me from those filthy, fleshy hands.
No! My hand resigned a broken contract.
Orin, what's happening?
An unthinkable glimpse. An order. Drawing pinpoint eversion.
No. Too cryptic, Quitter. You want to know how we saved you. Your big boy never tell you that. You are flimsy. For me to stay and burn a while, I'll make the one with the fetching fermions.
Gunsmoke! Stop! Speak to me, not through me. It's my will. Mine!
Quitting didn't take fully?
It did. It's me. I'm me. Those tethers I mentioned still stick to my skin.
If Maya really thought she was inevitable, she wouldn't be trying to stop us. Push through.
scrambled by a Vex disruption signal. Follow the cabling and we should find the source. These old human colonial outposts have been here for a long time. I wonder what they were researching before they captured this. This route will take us straight to the mine, creating the damping field. Almost there.
You never tire of learning the same lessons. Your response is not necessary. This is not a conversation. You're only meant to listen. How readily you obey fate. A leader without agency. A discarded puppet wrapped in her wires. And the weapon. Guardian, the Nine flatter you and themselves. But my enemies do not threaten me, because I do not allow it. I command their passivity. They cannot raise their weapons.
Vexmine crowding the corners of my cortex. Don't let them in. They'll burn through any non-emissary.
There it is, Guardian. That Vexmine has the capsule we need. I don't care what Maya says. We're on her doorstep, and she feels it.
I've had enough of this wall in my brain. I'm looking forward to seeing it crumble.
The mine's defenses are linked to a series of shielded confluxes. I bet we can take it out with this. should be the final Strangelet capsule. We did it! The quarantine field is failing.
We just detected a shockwave from the singularity.
My connection is still tethered. Ikora, I'm letting 9 in. Talk to me to talk to them.
We have questions.
Commander, answers later. Boss, perihelion around my maypole. But I do have a message for the Weapon B. Guardian, we knew saltwater would evaporate. Missiles aping at solar flares would collide. Humanity was destined to burn. 3 and I. Well, we looked at the Valley of Unknown Space. We saw our nature would nurture the conditions for uppercase light. Your resurrection was enabled by our hand for this purpose. Your body will be the foundation for a peace unset. For this you were positioned, set into orbit. This and 3's message to come. Always loved warming your armor, sunshine.
The well is dry. I have no more answers. I'm sorry.
Wait, so the 9 are saying they planned for me to raise the Guardian?
We are not pawns. We determine our choices, not them. Let's get to the Altar of Relativity and get answers from 3 ourselves.
My will is my own. It's as frightening as it is freeing. Don't misunderstand me. I didn't choose to be a light bearer. I did choose to be an emissary. And I chose to leave. I don't miss either life. I choose to bear truth. To share fragments I've stowed away from beyond the borders of known space. The knowledge I keep will save others. But first, there is a piece of myself that I left buried to grow in old soil. My ghost, Gol. We planted violet petals from the Golden Age. My hands, their shell. After we leave here, that's where I'll go. One brief respite until...
Everyone, we have the last Strangelet capsule. Guardian, we need to take this to the Altar of Relativity and get that door open.
This is it. I'm finally gonna learn why I'm here. Big moment. For all of you too, I'm sure.
Yeah. Round of congrats to everyone. But we're not out of the doghouse yet.
Drifter's right. I'm sure the Archon will be on the move soon now that the quarantine is down. And when he does...
Quiet. Yes, you have reached your goal and torn down Collective's quarantine. As I have said, I concluded my business there long ago. All that is left is to see if the Guardians really do make their own fate. Or if you will let the Nine puppeteer your power to their whims. Remember that it is they who manipulated you. They who spent your lives so recklessly to save themselves. They who see you as something less. All I am doing is all I have ever done. Improving a broken system. You may remain shielded. Or be drawn into a losing battle. Goodbye, Guardian.
Guardian, drop everything you're doing. The reactor for the Academy is experiencing criticality. If we don't halt Meltdown, it'll bury not just the Ionians, but trigger the Singularity's expansion. It's all at risk. Guardian, lead us in. Guardian, this is an emergency. The Ionian's energy reactor is on the verge of going supercritical. We need to shut it down, now.
Didn't y'all just fix this thing?
Since the Guardian shut the Vex quarantine down, they're figuring out a way to get to the Nine without it.
If this reactor melts down, it'll charcoal Kepler and wipe out anyone trying to hinder the Vex from controlling the Singularity.
And no one will be alive to stop them. Find what caused this.
Wild hunch, but I think the Guardian found the cause of the meltdown.
Focus on the reactor. Keep the Ionians safe. Then deal with the invulnerable Vex. We don't have much time, Guardian. Fight your way through and disable any power nodes you can find.
Every energy plant has to have a supply of coolant on hand to submerge the core in an emergency.
If you can find it, I'll route it back to the reactor, Hero. Go!
We need to get the Ionians evacuated. If this place goes nuclear, the temple, the caldera, everything is squarely within the blast radius.
Damn it!
The Ionians are too dispersed to reach all of them before boiling conversion.
Guardian, buy us as much time as you can. We'll assess our options. Lodi, do the Ionians have any kind of shelter they can get to quickly? Bunkers, or even a cavern system?
No, their infrastructure wasn't built to handle any kind of fallout.
Damn it! This thing's hemorrhaging coolant like a severed head!
I'm beneath the reactor. Its reservoir is cracked, but I can contain the pressure. Ophiuchus will just have to continually res me.
Ikora.
Don't worry about me.
get help. 3 wanted us here alive. What if they could intervene?
Temps aren't stable yet, but we're making headway. Ikora, you holding together the coolant walls?
Is this the collapse? Oily rain? Heads tip back. People don't know it's irradiated.
Lodi! We're running out of time!
Talk to me, please. 3, we need help. It's just showing me things. An eruption in a tundra, a bear boiling in mud, in a forest of ash. 3, the reactor is melting down. We need you to help us. Stop showing me a meteor. Talk to me. Damn it, why are you showing me this? Why won't you help?
Cut the connection! Lodi, Orin, find cover. We're on our own.
The unknowable god doesn't want to help. What a surprise. They're just gonna leave you dying on repeat. one note left, hero.
Lodi, are you all right? Louis!
That was the collapse. And then a little earlier. And then way earlier. 3 won't talk, won't help. They just wanted to show us disasters.
We've got something more reliable than a god. Guardian, my faith lies with you. If they won't save us, then we'll just have to save ourselves.
Oh, hell yeah, sister. Now you get it.
Nine murdered a mortal so she could be useful in her next life. And abducted her friend to use him as a puppet. They'll casually rearrange the life of the Guardian but won't lift a finger to help. My role may be set, but I will not play it passively. I will hold the reactor together with my bare hands. I will move time and space to hold them accountable. And I will enact my future on my own terms. If the 9 want Ikora Ray so badly, then here I am!
There you are.
Your will is your own! Hell yes! That's what I'm talking about!
You were underneath that thing, Miss Ray?
Holding it together in there while the Guardian got it stable out here.
You always were a tough one. How many times did you die?
As many as it took to finish the job.
You've got everything you need. Split that Hydra from the reactor. Then, let's finish the job.
Shut down again. How stable are the Ionians' power sources? Will the altar still hold?
It's not a permanent solution, but our efforts should have given the Ionians generators a serviceable amount of juice. The altar should remain stable, and we'll still be able to get through.
Three's waiting for us on the other side of that door.
Ms. Ray, not to rush us, but the Vex are flocking to the Singularity. We should follow. I want answers.
As do I. You and I have come too far not to know the reason why we're here. And we're only beginning to understand what they changed for the Guardian.
Guardian down.
Wait, Guardian. Orin, hold up. I feel like the Eltron during rush hour. All of them are queuing up in here. The Nine need us.
The vote. Of course they want to do it now. I remember my own transfer. There wasn't much fanfare. Xur was miscreated. They seemed eager to move on.
Guardian, hurry. The Nine want to talk. Formally. And they're not too keen on waiting.
Yes. Pressed glass. Light shining. Standard procedure. Let them in.
Oh, good. I was worried they would start without...
Nice of you to answer. Quitter, your vessel is required.
You may borrow.
Your captured audience assembles.
Invitation to notarize transfer. Tonight the weapon answered.
Speak what eight have spoken.
Quiet your clods and gases. We all have else things to be. But only one right now.
I hold the vessels. Old
And new.
This quitter is an outcast, but still connected and useful.
This beautiful boy is the emissary to be. Paperwork permitted. And you, Guardian, you are the weapon we chose by right and trial.
The weapon guides the transfer on the edge of its paracausality to shroud this chained sequence, to fell Vex and parry prediction. Be ours.
Kneel! Kneel. And let your knobby quarks press the hadrons. Do all present here ratify this contract? Aye or nay?
Denial!
Predictable. My vote is aye. Obviously.
Appointment, declination, weaponized flesh tool, affirmation.
As you sustain us, you will sustain us. For accepts.
Yea. Unsheath the weapon. But reactionary choices. Empty-seated. Nay to the emissary.
Stupid to ignore threat, arm ourselves. We never move without intermediaries. I to all.
Complete, abject, insulted refusal!
Ridiculous! 6. We are at war. 1 casts our vote in the affirmative.
This council sees the weapon loosed, but stands unmoved to ratify an emissary. 8 votes cast. 1 remains. It is required. Weapon, you are charged with seeking the final vote. 3. Our vacant gives you what you need.
Never again.
I am gonna throw up.
Seek 3 at the altar. All paths converge, Guardian weapon.
Guardian, all the 9 seem to know what the weapon is for, but I don't have a clue.
All I felt when they were talking about whatever you were for was terror.
Guardian, you have 1 new call.
I know folks speculate about my haul behind my back. But what they don't realize is, I don't know a damn thing about it either. Arnor called it an engine of pure potential. But potential for what? I never knew, or cared. Long as I fed it dark motes, it kept spitting out prime evils. And
Lodi, before we get further, the woman you knew, what was her name?
Are you sure you need to know that, Ikora?
I want to know who I'm fighting for.
You're fighting for the most fearless person I know. And when we get to that god, you're going to ask him why they killed Dr. Nella Davis.
The transfer was successful. My senses are beginning to settle. I feel smaller.
Couldn't help but count while you all were calling the 9, but, where was 3?
Absent. And I remember I know why. I'm supposed to tell you something.
You have your chisel, Orin. Use it, and find us clarity. Vex and the Singularity. Maya's goal has always been to return to the Golden Age, but a black hole won't get her there.
But maybe a member of the 9 could. She came to make a deal with 3. Trade the current age for the Golden Age?
A trade like that wouldn't be possible. The 9 can bring anything forward in time, but nothing ever goes backward. 3 would have told her as much.
Maya's echo means no isn't an answer.
This sounds like it isn't about simple refusal, though. It's a matter of physical impossibility.
When Maya spoke to us in the Gorge, she said she did what she came here to do. But we're not back in the Golden Age. What did she try to do?
The echo can compel, but it cannot force the impossible. We can't worry about this now, Guardian. We need the Archon out of the way. Then we'll deal with Maya.
Guardian down.
Is anyone else freezing? Muscles are locked? I feel awful. Something's wrong. Orin?
I felt that too, the day after I quit. Joints locking up, frozen head to toe. Something was very, very wrong. The Archon is hiding the truth from his people. Drifter, you need to bring your ship close. I'm remembering part of the message I was meant to deliver. Ready the derelict. Bring the wall.
What? Why?
Because I'm supposed to tell you now.
Nearly an eyesight. There's a lot of exiles on the ground.
More than any number can count. Annihilate 1 and 3 will roar in my voice. The Giver and its answers are unreachable. Exiles, take down the deathless ship.
Taking heavy fire!
Guardian down.
No!
Guardian down.
exiles just ran outside. Archon's not bluffing. Can't get close to whatever the hell that is. I'm taking too much fire.
No! This is how it happens, isn't it?
I don't need to breathe. Ikora, why don't I need to breathe? Am I dying?
Hold on, Lewis. We're almost there.
My chisel is sharp. The message is clear. I understand what was forgotten. 3 is dead.
The 9 that invited us here is dead?
I'm so sorry. It was like a block in my mind. The 9 wouldn't let me remember until now.
They brought us here to tell us something. They rearranged our entire lives. For what?
There has to be a reason. What type of message are we supposed to hear from the dead?
The end of endings has been revealed. How the blood of the giver feeds the singularity.
They're using 3's body to widen the black hole. They made the singularity. We need to hurry before we're overtaken.
Train the giver. Devour its flesh beyond flesh, my exiles. Coast the infinite. And you, Deathless, I will cut you down long before the singularity grows large enough to swallow you!
The Archon is the only thing between us and the answers we deserve. Bury him, Guardian.
Guardian down!
The grand design speaks of the end, dear ones. All of this is as foretold. It is why we prepared, why we readied our bodies and conglomerated our minds.
Inside that thing. It appears to be drawing power from the catch above. We'll need to power it down to get him out. Guardian, let's get to that catch.
Exiles, did I not foretell of a ruinous villain? The grand design promises victory in the face of our greatest foe.
down. Guardian down. Power's draining from the catch. That should get the Archon.
Kepler will rend into infinity as exiles return, riding the miracles of the Event Horizon home. Deathless, I'm fated to flay you in the shadow of the killer's carcass as you're fated to die. Face me, weapon of the Nine! This was not the path of the grand design. Incorrect, false, trickster, deathless, ruiners! Or my exiles, we command the servitors. Whatever they will find is their last. We must leave the singularity. We must rise to become House Ascendant. Behold, exiles, how the deathless flinches from my might.
Guardian down.
Second whirlwind! the shadow of the killer's carcass as you are fated to die. Face me, weapon of the Nine! This was not the path of the grand design. Incorrect, false, trickster, deathless, ruiners! Or by exiles, recommand the servitors. Whatever they reply is their last. We must feed the singularity. We must rise to become House Ascendant. Just as I foretold! I'm fated to flay you in the shadow of the killer's carcass as you are fated to die. Face me, weapon of the Nine! This was not the path of the grand design. Incorrect, false, trickster, deathless, ruiners! Or by exiles already born. Recommand the servitors. Whatever they refine is their last. We must lead the singularity. We must rise to become House Ascendant! You flee!
Guardian down.
voice. How could you take everything from me? I was a house. You may be ruined. I always tread in the Kranz's eye. Say, we have done.
I just had the craziest idea I've ever had in my life. What if we can wake it up? What if that's what the Hall is for? Play the game. I spent years filling it with energy. The Hall knows what it was made for.
3 intervened so Drifter would bring the means to revive them. Brought Lodi to give them a voice. Summoned the weapon and myself so we would hear their message.
I don't want to see 3 again. You were brought here to raise the dead, bring them to life. They'll close the tear. Wake them and listen.
Orin, wait. This call is different than the others? What happens to me if they're dead?
I guess you'll find out.
Guess so. Whatever you see, don't worry about me. I was made for this. Line's open, weapon.
On your signal, hero.
You got us here, Guardian. Now get us the answers we deserve.
When you're ready.
Not running from this one. As much as I'd like to. Not every day you resurrect a god.
You stand here, that I would not die alone again.
If you cannot give me what I want, what can you do?
Still I die afraid, at your sister's command.
You are a being who bends all rules. Why do you fear breaking this one?
A death ensures extinction. Listen carefully, children of my earth. To survive, you must bind the Nine. It cannot be done. The weapon will do it. Strike true, weapon. Goodbye, Ambassador. Goodbye, Commander.
Come, coward.
That's a neat little trick. Thanks, friend. I'm fine. I'm dead again. Or 3 is dead again. The 9 can't exist here. Same as we can't exist in a painting.
3 said their death starts a chain reaction that leads to extinction. But if they went through all the trouble to get us here, to send a message to the children of their Earth,
Then it must be a warning, not a promise. 3 gave us instructions to prevent extinction.
bind the 9. A dying wish to save us.
We're asked to do something we're told is impossible, on threat of universal extinction. All 3 of our lives altered by the Nine to bring us here. To receive the message. Guardian, weapon. Ambassador Lodi. And me. Vanguard commander, apparently.
And I never meant to go into politics. I still don't know what I am now. But I know I'm still me. I want to help. I want to say hello. The heavens aren't raining fire yet. All we can do is pray that 3 bought us the time we need and get to work.
It's back. The Hall is back, like it never left. Take a good hard look. 9 touched. They won't let me go. We eat our hearts out trying to help, but things always get worse. That's fate. Long life just means you get a good view of the carnage.
We're not out of the game yet.
Yeah. We're in it. As pawns.
I'll go after him. We will figure this out.
Yes, ma'am. You both know my situation. This is my time now. I want to be of service. Is there a place on Earth for me?
What kind of colleague would I be to leave an agent behind?